How to stop caring what other people think of you. Oftentimes, our energy is being pulled towards the thoughts of other people, meaning that we are not really in touch with our body, but our awareness goes in our head towards other people. We tend to screen, when we go down the street, our awareness is being pulled towards other people so that we lose attention within ourselves. You see this probably, or maybe you have realized that some people trip over themselves when they look at you, when you are a very radiant being. Or it happens to you when you see somebody else where you feel, inferior to or attracted towards, where your energy is like, what is that? What do we do to stop caring that what other people think of us? And this is exactly the topic of this video. And now let's go into and read the notes that I've been writing for the last 6 years, or actually just 6 years ago. 90 minutes breakthrough coaching, how to follow your heart like a winner, become one of the lucky few, one of the top 0.2% of people who choose a life of happiness. And the only way to become happy for real is to follow your heart, do your thing, live your life, do what you want. It's simple, as long as it's not detrimental to other people. It's simple, but the majority of people live a life in misery than designing a life of their choice. I don't want to be one of them. That's why I created that program. In this program, we take the unconventional backwards approach and look deep into our psyche on what prevents us from doing it. Once that is resolved, you have all the power within to make your life an expression of what you want it to be. And once you are on the path of following your heart, you are a medicine to 99.8% of people. Be part of the mission of waking the world up by becoming a role model of excellence. But the first step is to start walking the path yourself. How to stop caring what other people think of you. The cause: ego, mental faculties, wanting to be different than we are, being accepted in society. When we grew up, a core wound was formed. We were unconditionally loved by our parents. They were drugged with a natural drug, with a natural hormone called oxytocin, which made them feel in love with us, no matter what we did. Our mother had a very high dose of that. Our father had a little lesser dose of that. And then there was a tipping point where our parents sensed that now the child's capacities have matured to the point where he or she is able to be taught the rules of the family and the rules of society. So our parents started to now put conditions on us receiving the love, because frankly that's important. Our parents need to show us through punishment and reward. And that doesn't have to mean physical, but punishment can just mean positive and negative reinforcement. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable, right? But for us as children, that was experienced as a trauma, as our original trauma, with a core wound as being formed. And what then happened was that we now realized that there are conditions being put on our receiving love, so that we now had to be a certain way, and the qualities that were rewarded, we now consider substitutes for love. We link them up in our brain as prerequisites or filters, or rather contingencies, right? Or rather, as I said, prerequisites for receiving that love, meaning that needs to come first, and then I receive the love that I so need. As a child, we really did. Now we still believe that we do need that from that emotional memory, and we still need that to a certain degree when we don't connect ourselves with other people, and when we isolate. Ego, mental faculties, wanting to be different than we are, being accepted in society. Necessary in previous society to be accepted, because ostracized means left to die. And there are two sides of the coin of our mental faculties. Number one, good to find our place in society and to ensure life in large group communities, so that you get the necessary feedback how to find balance between your self-expression and others. Second, unhealthy, neurotic, stifling, worry about what other people think so that you don't follow your heart. Every caring is because of one of two reasons: either an effort to manipulate others in order to getting validation, attention, love, recognition, or the fear of losing that you get from people's recognition and validation, attention, because we feel we need that to feel good. Here's the fundamental misconception: that I can control with my behavior how others think of me, and I can't. Second, that I need the feeling of validation, attention, and recognition, that I really need that and I can't live without that. Now, it is true that we feel that we can't live without that, because we have made the connection in our brains, as I just described before, that this is a prerequisite for the love, meaning we learn that only when I'm being seen, when I'm being recognized, when I'm being praised, when I'm being told that I am good and that I've done well, that then I get to receive the love. And now as an adult, from how we needed to be, we now internalize that of how we want to be, right? So when our parents rewarded us in the way that they deemed it appropriate for us to receive the love according to the rules of society and the family, and also to please them in a way, how they wanted us to behave, according to their part of that, knowing what's best for us, part of them also wanting to mold us and shape us in the way that they wanted us to be, right? Then we internalized first what they behaved in a way of teaching us and rewarding us for these habits of how we should be, and we internalized that of how we want to be. And so before we needed that validation, that attention, that recognition, we needed to be this way for us to get the love, for our parents to show us the love. Only when that condition has been met, now we put these conditions on ourselves and we say we want to be like that and get this attention, validation, and recognition. The remedy, the twofold, fear through what the remedy is twofold. Feel through the fear and act anyway. Every caring of what other people think is because of the fear of the consequence of loss or isolation. This is very important. If we really ask why often enough times and we go deeper through the levels of fear, then we realize that we only care what other people think of us because of the fear of the consequence of loss or isolation, of the loss of love or isolation, which means being ostracized, right? How is ostracization? Ostracization, right? Ostracization, that's exactly the word. All right then. Well, fear is to be encountered. Fear of being alone. Fear of loss of love or connection from friends, family, or intimate partners. The fear of being abused by somebody because of my behavior. Feeling it in two ways. Number one, the situation when we realize that we are about to alter our behavior out of caring of other people's opinions. So first of all, we got to feel that we care of other people's opinions because we fear the consequence for our behavior. And second, when you take time to review the day and let the feelings arise that want to arise, and it takes less time. The goal, knowing the state of not caring, stop caring, does mean seeking indifference. Does not mean seeking indifference. It means feeling the discomfort of fear, but acting anyways. This is great. This is a great piece of content. Stopping to care does not mean seeking indifference. It means feeling the discomfort of fear, but acting anyways. Stop caring also means feel the discomfortable feeling of others, real or imagined, disapproving of you, and remaining unwavering in your centering of the heart. Don't expect the feeling of caring to go away. Rather practice to act anyway. This is the remedy. Stop caring doesn't mean aggressive, disapproving of others telling you their opinion. So to stop caring, it does not mean to wait until the caring stops. It means to embrace the discomfortable feeling and act in anyways. Great piece of content. Acting anyways. Introduction to the third module, following your heart. Knowing the cause and the remedy, we can now start walking the way. The way is the way of the heart. Doing what feels right in spite of others, in spite of what others might think. Having the internal reference instead of an external reference. Replacing the lower validation with the higher. This is the way of emotional independence. Follow the attraction of the heart instead of the attraction of validation. You know that you derive your emotional nourishment from within. No, not without other people's validation. Emotional maturity means that you don't seek fulfillment out of the world and other people anymore because you know that you have it within. Because with the fear of negative feelings, also the craving for positive feelings vanishes. We are more at ease in poise. Because with the fear of negative feelings, also the craving for positive feeling vanishes. We are more at ease and at poise. This is very important. Exactly. Yeah, so we're just gonna read, man. We just flow. When you are happy, you care less because you have all you need emotionally. Same when you are in love. You care less because you have all that you need emotionally. Self-importance and happiness. There is no other way to become happy than to be yourself and to follow your heart. We only value other people's opinions because their validation gives us some good feeling that we crave, because overall we are quite unhappy. How to follow the heart. Getting in touch with your feelings, tuning in with the intuition, acting upon the intuition. This is what we will be learning in the 10x Aliveness Transformation Program. It is to be expected that other people will disapprove of you when you follow your way of the heart, because they get fearful of somebody being so free, and if their strategy is to attack everything that is foreign and frightening, they will attack you as well. And why is that important, and what does that mean? Stop caring, like being courageous. Courage doesn't mean to have no fear, it means acting in spite of fear. Stopping to care means to act in accordance with the guidance of the heart in spite of the fear of what other people might think. The inner voice needs to be heard, not the outer. The outer voice don't have the best interest at heart, the inner voice does. How to stop caring what other people think. Copy. Stop caring what other people think of you. Stop being embarrassed. Embarrassed. Yeah. Okay. Stop feeling embarrassed. Stop worrying about saying the wrong thing. Stop the fear of being judged by others for your looks. Stop the fears of being judged by others about what you say. Stop feeling ashamed of the things you've said after you've said them. Hi, my name is Florian, and if you may not know me, but I suggest you pay attention. And you may or may not know me, but I suggest you pay attention, because in this video I'm going to address how to stop caring what other people think of you. Now, this video is a paid advertising for an online course that I have just released, and I'm so excited for people to actually try that it works and give me feedback on that. But more on that later. But for now, let's address how to stop caring what other people think of you, because that's the purpose of this video. Hi, my name is Florian, and in this video, if you stick with me, you are going to learn when caring too much what other people think of you produces. Why caring too much what other people think of you produces 3 major mistakes that kill friendships, sabotage relationships, and make you come across fake and inauthentic. Now, this video is especially for you if stop caring what other people think of you, stop being embarrassed, stop feeling embarrassed, stop worrying about saying the wrong thing, stop the fear of being judged by others for your looks, stop the fear of being judged by others about what you say, stop feeling ashamed of things you said after you said them. This is part of an online program that I teach called How to Stop Caring What Other People Think of You. I will explain a whole lot more if you click on this link here. But before we go into the 3 biggest mistakes, I like to tell you a bit more about my story as an example of someone who was super concerned with the opinions that others had of me, and to see if you can recognize those patterns in yourself. I didn't have a girlfriend up until age 23. I couldn't speak up for myself, and I was trying to please other people with doing something for them. I was trying to impress them by telling stories, name dropping, or talking very enthusiastically about my own travel or personal development stories, being really eager to share those because I knew it would give me this wow response. I was addicted to that. On the other hand, if I didn't get that, I felt like nobody was paying attention to me, and I felt lost, depressed, totally not in my power, overeating, smoking, and being in a really bad mood, anger burst, real substantial emotional issues. Now, there are 3 patterns, 3 major mistakes that people make if they care too much what other people think of them. Trying to get approval by doing something that the other person will like, make them laugh, buy them dinner, do favors for them. Second, trying to avoid hurting others in that way cutting your own free authentic self-expression. 3, trying to manage the image you display of yourself by... Hi, my name is Florian, and in this video you are going to learn how to stop feeling embarrassed. Maybe you recognize a few of those patterns. We all have a more or less extreme form of those. But here's the truth, everybody has those. They are On the other side, you can sign up for my online transformation program on how to stop caring how other people think of you for only $19.97. And even if you don't decide to get that, you find a video there explaining the 3 biggest stepping stones that you need to know if you want to stop caring about what other people are thinking of you. Free video number 3, aspects. Trying to get approval by doing something that the other person will like. Make them laugh, buy them dinner, do favors for them. Trying to avoid hurting others. Trying to manage the image of yourself that you display of yourself. So if you want to stop attracting toxic people that are just out to exploit you, if you want to both be considerate to others but also be free and express yourself authentically, doing what you want, attract beautiful friends or a partner that loves you for who you are, or if you just want to feel totally comfortable in your own skin, even if that's a substantial issue for you and you believe you cannot possibly be free and express yourself in that way, this course is for you. Roadblocks or objections. I have tried things of that nature before. It is a really substantial issue. It is part of who I am. I do that all the time. But I want to remain in a nice person and keep all of my friends. What areas of life are impacted to the depth level? You don't feel in your power, like you don't realize, like you don't really live your life to the fullest. There are so many things you want to do, but for the same reason you feel so imprisoned by what's holding you back. You alter yourself for others, doing favors for them that you don't want. You want to please others. You're not speaking up to what you truly feel. You attract toxic people that are just out to exploit you. This is a great piece of content. You're not having a good time. You're anxious. Takes away your personal identity. Large groups of people. If you have to speak in front of people, it's difficult for you. Honestly, you don't speak up. What areas of life are impacted? Symptoms on the surface level. You want to say something, but you hold yourself back. You want to wear a certain outfit or get a tattoo, but you are afraid of what your parents or friends might be thinking of you. You feel embarrassed when you have made a mistake. You're often afraid of saying something wrong or inappropriate. You often hope that nobody knows your dirty little secrets that you may tell your best friends, but don't want anybody else to find out. Doing favors for them that you don't want. What areas of life are impacted? This is a great piece of content. What does that emotionally mean for my clients? Surface level phenomena. It is just annoying. You feel insecure. You don't have as much time to do the things you want to do. You feel like you're not the person that you can be. Every time you go on social media, you feel bad about yourself. You feel constantly judged by others. Sometimes that might even feel like paranoia or like other people are looking at you all the time. So what is the psychotherapeutic insight in that? Craving love, attention, validation. The core wound is being independent upon parental approval, wanting to be a good member of society, being accepted in your role of society. It creates trouble in relationships. You're basically fearful of what your partner can say, how you are coming across, etc. Of course, in every relationship there are moments of authenticity and just lovingly putting yourself forth. But the degree of fearfulness is startling to me. Money, job, business. If you don't worry anymore about other people's opinions, you avoid making decisions just to please somebody, which turns out to give you unnecessary stress, or even say yes to a business deal that you actually feel it's wrong. Happiness. You cannot potentially be happy if you alter yourself for others and you feel you should actually do otherwise. You alter yourself and you are not in your power doing what you want to do. So here are the benefits and the payoffs. Freedom, peace of mind, doing what you want to do. That is a necessary requirement for happiness in life. When you don't care about others' opinions, you're not dependent upon them responding in a certain way to you. It's making you a more loving human being. It increases your self-esteem a lot. It avoids you this incredibly stifling feeling of doing something for others that you don't want to do. Stop worrying about other people's opinions, free up that energy that you used to waste on toxic people and toxic thoughts, and instead use it to make your life great. It helps you raise quality of intimate relationships, cast away jealousy, fear of doing or saying something wrong, being irritated or feeling stifled, without manipulating yourself or your partner. Attract the love of your life by becoming the person that he or she is proud to be with and making this process stress-free, fun, and exciting. Exactly.